Master Painters and Decorators are the representative body for the painting and decorating industry in WA, and we oversee the Apprentice of the Year competition. The competition is a fantastic platform for our most talented young painters to test their skills against their peers and develop their craft, all the while applying the techniques that they've learned as part of their training. The competition is a whole of industry initiative where painting companies, manufacturers, suppliers and training organisations are all aligned and invested in the next generation. Special thanks to our sponsors, trainers, adjudicators and judges for the tremendous support they offer to make it all possible. So we wish all the finalists the very best and congratulate them on their commitment to their trade and their dedication to self-improvement.
Today we've looked for a wide range of skills, a bit different than their everyday. They've had to do a design layout on the wall. We're looking for things like dimensional accuracy. We're looking for coverage of some pretty tricky colours they've had to use today. This year we've done a decorative effect. They've had to do a rag roll. We're looking for consistency of pattern. There's 4 quite large triangles. To finish off their work today, they've had to gloss the door and all their architrave, nice bit of aqua enamel, trying to get a good glossy finish on that. There's a bit of colour matching that went on. It's a bit tricky, not something we do in our everyday painting. And we've also had to do some pretty specific taping.
A mate asked me to help him out at work one day, and then I ended up working with him for about a week, just helping him out and stuff. And then a few months later, me and the boss were speaking, and then he asked me if I wanted to join as an apprentice, and I thought I may as well. Coming to TAFE every so often, every few months, it's a nice break from work, and you learn skills that sometimes you don't always get to learn on the field, sort of thing. So it's good to get a bit of everything in. Being able to look back at a job once you've completed it and see that you've changed someone's home or office or something like that is real interesting. I wasn't going to, but then I thought it's just an opportunity, so I may as well take it up. Just made me proud of myself, to be honest, and then also just something to add to the resume. Always looks good, so that always helps.
The difference from last year I think is huge because I've completed TAFE, learnt a lot more since last year, like the decorative effects that we did in stage 7 I think is helping me massively in the competition today. Making a career out of painting, I would love to do more decorative effects and more creative artistic painting. It takes a lot of attention to detail and patience to be a painter. Those are good traits to have. It's a cool trade.
Last year's experience was my first time, so I was incredibly nervous. I just felt like I didn't have my head wrapped around the whole competition. I'm a little bit more prepared. I know what to expect. I feel like I can manage my time a little bit better, and my skills have just gotten better since last year. My main focus is making sure I've got a routine, and I've just got a schedule, so while I'm doing one thing, something's drying. While I'm doing this, something else is in the works. So yeah, just making sure I'm managing my time really well so it works out. I entered this competition this year just because I remember how good it felt last year to complete it, even though the days leading up to it are super daunting and it's just really like on your mind constantly. But yeah, it like feels like $1 million at the end of the day when you're all finished and you can look back and see what you've done.
Matrix Painting I work for, so he does a bit of like commercial, industrial, residential, 2-packing on floors. I never did colour matching or rag rolling, so today's my first day on both of those. But I just gave my best shot. I like the way you can change things, if you can restore things. Yeah, it's just a good job satisfaction at the end of the day. I'd like to start a business once I finish my apprenticeship, have a few people employed for me and stuff. So far, pretty good. I'm doing my best I can.
I actually started out my apprenticeship as a carpentry apprentice with my company. I got talking to one of the other painters there, and he said he'd be happy to take me on board and show me painting. I like restoring things that don't look too great when you start off, and then once you're finished patching and painting and just making it look amazing afterwards, it's really satisfying. I haven't had too much experience with like decorative effects. It's not really used in the trade as much outside of TAFE. All it comes down to is practice, and if you practice enough, your skills will improve. I did pretty well in terms of speed, but looking around at some of the other booths, I think I've got quite a bit of competition.
This is my first year of competing in the Master Painters, so I feel like there's definitely some areas that I can improve on, but overall I've enjoyed the precision, I've enjoyed the detailing of it, and I've also enjoyed testing my skills. You get to refresh something that's old and make it new again, and you also get to change something for a client that they may necessarily not like at the moment, but then they like at the end because they're putting their own personal stamp on things. Painting is an amazing job and we get to do a lot of diverse things, but then putting yourself through this kind of testing system is just something different.
I'm with Doctors Painting, in the 3rd year with them now. We do a lot of schools, hospitals and stuff like that. So we're at Fremantle Hospital, done about 4 or 5 different wards there, so it took about 9 months, maybe a little bit longer. Hopefully do my red gel on that eventually, pretty much just get the trade under my belt and then not too sure how far I want to go yet, if I want to start my own company or still work for the boss man or not, but just want to keep pushing it, see how far I go, yeah. I think we get a spray gun, so that'd help. I know probably good for references and that as well, and then all the other people coming in, they see you on site and they're like, oh, you were nominated for Apprentice of the Year.
I competed last year and I was a bit disappointed. I wanted to try again and see if I can at least finish the project, test my skills and see how I go again. For me time, I spend too long on things trying to get it perfect because it kind of looks a bit crazy at the start and then you got to trust the process and it all comes together, which is nice. So my host is Western Modern Painting and he's only him at the moment, me and my boss, but he's really good and we mainly do new homes. Yeah, I really enjoy working with him. Different job every day, which is really nice.
I was definitely a lot less stressed this year because of competing last year. It helped ease my nerves and I kind of knew what I was coming into instead of just being like fresh. I have more time to do touch-ups. I think the only thing that sucked was the rag rolling because I hadn't really done a lot of it, so it was a new challenge. Being able to step back and see what you've created and the enjoyment that clients get out of refreshing their houses and making something new out of something old, and I think that's the best part for me, is just that gratification of creating something awesome.
Overall, the designs look amazing. We've had a really high level of skills today. Everyone's got their job finished. Everyone's been great competitors. It's a really bright outlook for our painting industry and our young apprentices coming through the system.